Top Billin.
Yo, Top Billin to ya. What is going on, folks? It's the Committed to the G show with your boy, the Underground King. Me, Murf Baldwin, doing my 1-2 thing, man. Talking about Georgia's spring offering. As far as some of the stuff, the chatter coming out of it. Hey, but before that, man, you know I got to do some housekeeping, baby. Make sure you're on patreon.com/committed to the G so you can get those inside scoops, the type of film breakdowns that I wouldn't do here on the YouTube, where you get the real kind of stuff where I go in depth, whether it be positive or negative, so you can know the entire scope of the team, right? Patreon.com/committed to the G. That's where you're going to want to be at right there. Got message. We have a group chat there, a couple of different group chat tiers there. You can interact with me, a whole bunch of different knowledgeable people. Man, you can also be in on the buy-in of the new thing that's taking the Patreon by storm, and that's the Underground King wear, man. You see your boy right here with the platinum version of the Philly Flyers shirt. You can check my man Alan Jackson out modeling the original Philly Flyers shirt that's out there to the people and stuff like that. Got the general shirt popping, all those bad boys, man. But they're only going to members of patreon.com/committed to the G. So I can keep, the numbers down, baby, and make sure that I'm getting it to very knowledgeable people. I only want very knowledgeable people, real football heads wearing that Underground King wear, right? For sure. But, man, I'm excited about Georgia's defense just from listening to your man Coach Smart talk. We had the podcast, which obviously is got patreon.com/committed to the G, where you get that exclusive podcast. Me and my man Ian Snyder had a show, and he was talking about Coach Smart talking about the Havoc Stats, being able to create different things. Now, y'all know me, man. I'm all about the white lines, whatever happens between the white lines, but I'm kind of intrigued by the advanced stats portion of that, especially if someone like Coach Smart is mentioning it, because we know that he's an absolute king when it comes to defensive football and defensive scheming. So he's talking about getting sacks, play on balls, like what I call them, pass breakups, just different things, that interceptions, sacks, different things that really just cause havoc to an offensive game plan. So I really love that and the thought of that, just because of Georgia's personnel now. I feel like this will be the most talented defense that we've seen in the Kirby Smart regime. No disrespect to guys like Roquan Smith and those guys. I felt like those guys were head and shoulders above all the rest of the talent, for the most part. Just talking about this particular regime under Coach Smart. So not talking about the end of Mark Rick or some of those teams, because I still think that 2012 team or something like that, that team was loaded. I'm still not sure if there's been a more talented team yet than that particular team. But we'll talk about that another time. But as far as the Kirby Smart regime, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing from this, man. Is the defensive level. You got tons and tons of down linemen, young guys, Malik Herring and all these guys that can step up, Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, Tremel Waltower, all of these boys, man, as down linemen, Julian Rochester, some of the old guard. Tyler Clark is still there. Tyler Clark somehow is still on the Georgia football team. David Marshall, too. So imagine those guys with the inside guys, man, the young guys coming like Ryan Davis and Tresman Marshall and N'Kobe Dean, but you already still have Monty Rice, Tay Crowder there, and then the back end is just nuts with some of the guys coming in, man. So we're hearing some good stuff about Tyreek Stevenson, at least on the field. I'm not getting into anything off the field. And then Eric Stokes, we know, is a complete freak. Just stick to your ribs type cornerback, man. You know I like that type of stuff. So and shout out to Lewis Seen and all these guys as well, Tyreek McGee, Chris Smith, my man Richard LeCount, obviously. So with that being said, though, with a guy like Richard LeCount, I'm going to get to here on the back end with this film study right here. It's about having solid guys and then your explosive guys. You got to have a great mix of those guys if you want to do the Havoc Stats stuff. You want to be extremely aggressive, come with your fabricated pressure schemes and everything like that. You're going to have those explosive guys. So a guy like Richard LeCount, to me, I think his job should be up for grabs, I don't think he's that great of a player to where he should be automatically penciled in like a J.R. Reed, So if we're talking about Coach Smart doing that, maybe he's no longer on the buddy system, which I've heard maybe Devad Wilson, perhaps playing over a guy like a Tyson Campbell, to me that deserves to be mentioned, you know, if it's true or not. You know, I can't validate that, but if that's true, man, that's great, because that means maybe the buddy system is gone and it's going to be earned off merit. Remember, I asked you before, can Georgia become a meritocracy? Well, here you go. You know, some of these guys' jobs need to be up for grab. Richard LeCounte, Tyson Campbell, and these guys like that, I don't think performed up to snuff. I think as talented as they are, there are guys behind them that may be even more talented or maybe even more solid. So I'm looking at a guy like Otis Reese, right? I'm looking at you, Otis Reese, for sure. But, man, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of that film study, baby. Real men watch to the end. Hashtag real football heads. It's going to be a long one, so make sure you're watching this bad boy if you're a real football head. And tell me you're a real football head in the comment section. And also tell a friend to subscribe. Make sure we had that. I need to replace a whole bunch of people on this YouTube channel because there's a whole bunch of lames out there on the internet, some internet lames, and I need those guys to be gone, and I need some more real football heads. So I know there are real football heads out there. So some of you guys who are that, make sure you tell your real football head friends to be over here committed to the G. I'm sorry, a Top Billin Sports YouTube channel, and definitely on Committed to the G, patreon.com/committed to the G. All right. But with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Remember, solid versus explosive. On this particular play right here, we'll have Otis Reese. Otis Reese right here is a cat that I really, really like. And I hope, just from a competitive standpoint, that he's getting a fair shot to unseat one Richard LeCounte. Now, Richard LeCounte is an explosive player. He can make extremely explosive plays, interceptions, maybe big tackles for loss and stuff like this. But I look at my man Otis Reese is kind of like a J.R. Reed, just extremely solid. So you need those type of guys. You need to be able to have those glue guys mixed with those explosive guys. And I like what Otis Reese brings to the table. So we'll see right here. Georgia kind of two-gapping across the board. So we see it right here. Jordan Davis doing work. I believe this is Devontae Wyatt. So you know these two guys next to each other. Look at Devontae's ability to tie up a couple of blockers here. Got Jordan Davis singled out right here. And this kind of leaves DeAndre Walker, your premier edge player or edge defender, right here on the island one-on-one. And the same thing over here. Now, a guy like Walter Grant, I think you have to have an upgrade over him. You need to have your explosive guy. So that would be an Azeez Ojulari, maybe a Jermaine Johnson, Nolan Smith type. And we know there has to be a premium rusher in DeAndre Walker's spot too. So luckily Georgia is loaded for when it comes to edge players, you know, so they won't have to worry about that there. So you have your solid guys up front, Devontae and Jordan Davis, who can also be explosive. Your midline guys right here, you have the chance to be extremely explosive right there as well. You think about a Channing Tindall, Quay Walker, these type of guys, and a lot of the guys you have coming in, the Kobe Dean and stuff like this. But this is a guy who can tie it all together right here. Eric Stokes right here. So we see the man trying to bounce this dive play on the Auburn player right here. So Georgia's doing a good job. The line of scrimmage has not necessarily been breached. You can see it's been breached sort of with some of the combo blocks, but everybody's pretty much holding their ground right here. So you got to like that. So Whitlow tries to bounce that bad boy out. You see the wolf pack pursuit. Your man Monty Rice, very solid player right there, pursuing. You have Eric Stokes trying to make the tackle. He kind of gets shrugged off, but look at the cavalry coming. A very solid tackler, Otis Reese. He comes and kind of cleans it up right here. And look, that adds to your Havoc stats right there. That's a tackle for loss right there. So you can add that to the Havoc rate right there. Always try to be getting a loss, trying to be getting a sack, a forced fumble, or something like that. Always add to that. All right, so let's look at this situation right here. Auburn has gone empty. This should be your Havoc stat gem of a down, right? Empty personnel against a team like Georgia, it shouldn't really happen because they'll be like, man, if we go empty, we're see, almost cuss. If we go empty, man, we're screwed because these guys have the ability to get after a passer like no other, and then there's really nothing you can do about it when you go empty. If these guys are able to go to some of these fabricated pressure schemes or even this organic rush. So you have Julian Rochester right here at a 2-eye, and then you have your man Devontae Wyatt right here at kind of at almost a 5 technique, right? So you should say that this guy right here, this particular edge defender who happens to be Robert Bill, will have one-on-one, right? So he needs to be able to get home. He's your home run hitter. Coming off this side right here. He needs to be able to get home. So you imagine a guy like Robert Bill, who I think is a very decent player but I think he's kind of a downgrade when you think about a guy like DeAndre Walker. So maybe now some of these guys coming in can be DeAndre Walker, and then when you need your sub package or somebody needs a rest, you bring in a guy that's their equal. You know, everybody's DeAndre Walker or everybody's Leonard Floyd or somebody. You get what I'm saying from that? So that adds to your Havoc stats right there. You got to be able to have a guy like this. So let's check out this rush set right here. So just watch Robert Bill right there, get into it. All right, so nice lean and everything like that. But we'll just see maybe the limitations of his game right here, because look at that. He's getting deadened. The guy anchors down and he's pretty much done. So your man Stidham's right here is able to survey everything. 2nd and 7, maybe he could have dumped the ball off right here, but he wanted to try to go down the field, but they're in a complete zone, right? Maybe like a cover 6 or something like that. So there's really nowhere to go with this, right? So he has the time to do a couple of hitches. So he shouldn't really have that time. So you would think a guy like Azeez Ojulari, if that's him coming on a one-on-one right there, maybe he's exposed enough to bend that corner right there, and there's your sack, your Havoc rating. But even with that being said, Stidham was able to get out the pocket and throw the ball away, so it was a win for the defense. But man, it's really a win for the defense when you're able to get that guy on the ground or cause some type of forced fumble or a sack, or put them in even worse down and distance situations, if you get what I'm saying. All right, here's a good Havoc stack play right here. Everybody did their job. I like this, man. No breaching of the edge, meaning all the edge contained players did their thing. You got to look at a guy like Tyreek McGee right here. Kind of, let's see what this is originally. All right, so you have a kind of a cage, a tag pull. Your tackling guard pull right here. Both of them pulling off there, so that's going to be a rhythm thing. It almost looks like a read right here, kind of reading Malik Herring. So he kind of does his job too, because he kind of slow plays it and forces the quarterback to give the ball off, right? So he gives the ball off. Now Tyreek McGee crashes down and squeezes down, right? So if he's squeezing down right here, this is going to give him an incentive to really try to either bounce this right here or kind of turn this up. So he kind of did his job right here, but you have an approaching blocker as well that kind of seal him off a little bit. So it has to be about the next guy, but he does his thing and forces him, you see it right there, forces him to run wide. So then it's going to be the next player to come in. Everybody has to come in. The next player will be the safety, and then after that will be the kind of the corner. You can't never let anyone get the edge right there. You see J.R. Reed coming in doing his thing like always. Super solid, J.R. Reed. My man is way back there now. Now look, the cavalry and the brigade all coming right there. So that's some good defense. That's how you cause havoc right there. Everybody flowing to the ball. Look at that. DeAndre Walker, like always, on the play as well. So everybody did their thing right there. But even in that particular case right there, there could be an upgrade in talent in certain things. You never know what may happen. Maybe you get someone a little bit better than a Tyreek McGee. No disrespect to Tyreek McGee, because he can do some solid things as well. But there can obviously be a talent upgrade at his position with some of the guys you think coming in. Maybe it's a Tyreek Stevenson or somebody like that. So always be wary of that. All right, so check this out. Very much similar to the Robert Bill play a couple of plays ago. You have my man Adam Anderson right here. Now, I forgot about Adam Anderson. I was talking about Azeez Ojulari, Jermaine Johnson, Nolan Smith, and these guys. Adam Anderson could very well be the premier edge player as soon as next season. He flashed early on last season, and I think he will be doing his thing as well. And he's just a complete freak, man. So Georgia's loaded at edge, and it should show this year when we're talking about this Havoc stuff, right? So, I've got to point out, this is one of my favorite packages that they do right here in fabricated packages. It's the double A gap work, you know. So you got both guys in the A gap right here, but they're going to be both fanning out right here into a shallow zone. You're going to have Rochester coming out. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. They're going to be fanning out right here. Both of them, Jawan Taylor and Monty Rice. Going to have kind of a two-man game going on right here. I think something goes on wrong here because it looks like Rochester was going to go ride, and then Robert Bill was going to come in behind him, but something got messed up right there. I believe Ledbetter just getting upfield. But a man coming out here from like a damn 14 technique or whatever you would want to say, he just gets one-on-one with number 71 just like Robert Bill did. And you can just see he's just a lot more explosive. All right, so it's perfect right there. Getting off. You look over here, right here, something happened between Rochester and Bill. Maybe Rochester was supposed to not go past his number right here, but he looks like he kind of maybe went in the same gap that Robert Bill was supposed to go in, so that messed that particular play up. You can see Monty Rice and Juwan Taylor with the shallow zone drops. But look over here, man. Your man Adam Anderson, man, extremely active. Dude got a lot bigger than when I saw him in high school, man. A lot bigger. He on that get big. But boom, look at him. Get into number 71's chest right here, the right tackle. Gets him lifted. Look at the power and speed. You don't see that from Robert Bill. Gets him lifted. Boom, he can't even really anchor down, so he's toast. Look at it. He almost pushed them back further than the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They both at depth right now. He made the right tackle take a shotgun drop, right? So look, he really even with the quarterback. So he forces him off his spot. That's it. 3rd and 12. He's done. Disengages. Then look at the speed to track him down, man. Right there. I'm a 56, man. Boom, closes on him right there. Gets his hand on him, pretty much similar result right there. He's not able to make an accurate throw, so he's almost like he's throwing it away. So good stuff right there, man. So we're talking about this Havoc stuff. It's going to be a mix of solid personnel with explosive personnel. Got to have the right personnel grouping. No more buddy system. None of that. Make these boys earn their keep, right? It's the University of Georgia. They should be earning their keep, and then Georgia should be pretty damn good on the defense side of the ball. So I expect a big leap on defense this year. Hopefully your man Coach Smart calls his own plays, and then you can really see what the defense is all about. But that's going to do it right there, man. Thank you for watching the Committed to the G show. I'll have these bad boys popping for you, but you got to make sure you're on patreon.com/committed to the G to get that real stuff. And make sure you guys get on that bad boy and go ahead and buy in so you can get on these shirts as well, man. I got it popping, baby. Committed to the G brand. But it's your boy Murf, the Underground King. Thanks for watching, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.